Well, hello, Oakland County. I'm County Executive David Coulter, and here with me today is our Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer, Robin Carter Cooper, for a conversation about Juneteenth. You know, following the lead of President Joe Biden and now the state of Michigan, which have designated Juneteenth as a federal and state holiday, our Board of Commissioners here in Oakland County has made the day an official county holiday. Now, while the actual Juneteenth is Sunday, June 19th, the county holiday is going to fall on Monday, June 20th. And while we all look forward to a day off, the holiday really gives us an opportunity to reflect on the significance of Juneteenth, a day in history that officially ended the dark chapter of slavery in the United States. So Robin, maybe for those who aren't totally familiar, could you give us a little more context about Juneteenth?
Absolutely. So often we're told that Juneteenth was the moment enslaved Texans learned they were free. But actually, plenty of them knew what was going on and were actively working to subvert the power of enslavers. General Order No. 3 told white enslavers that the U.S. Army would enforce emancipation in Texas and prevent them from holding human property from that point forward. Although this prevented ongoing enslavement, it did not deliver lasting equality or citizenship. We still have much work to do in securing liberation and achieving justice. This holiday honors not only emancipation, but also the historical Black celebrations of it. Making Juneteenth a federal, state, and county holiday signifies its importance to all Americans, acknowledging that this is not just a celebration for Black people, but rather a time for all of us to reflect on our nation's history. Black history is American history, and without acknowledging all its beauty and ugliness, we are not telling a complete story. It is my hope on this day of recognition, we remember the pain, hurt, and suffering of enslaved Black people while activating a call to action. We are all bound in one humanity and deserve equal rights and equitable outcomes across all systems.
Wow, very well said. So there's a lot of things happening around Juneteenth across the county, but what can we as individuals do to commemorate this special day?
So first and foremost, we can educate ourselves about our nation's history and the impacts that slavery has had on our generations of Black people and the systems that are in place, right, that continue those injustices we still face today. And then we can look to our present and future and see how we're challenging those inequities that still exist in society and within our organizations.
Great, great. So, you know, Michigan abolished slavery in its first state constitution in 1837, although there were people who owned slaves in Michigan. But what role did the state of Michigan play in abolishing slavery?
Right, so more than 90,000 Michiganders, including 1,600 Black soldiers, fought for the Union during the Civil War. Even though those battles were mostly being waged far from the state's borders. And the state has a rich history in the movement to abolish slavery, from the Michigan Anti-Slavery Society, right, formed in 1831 in Ann Arbor, to the legendary Sojourner Truth, a former enslaved woman who was a leading abolitionist who lived in Battle Creek, to the vast Underground Railroad network that included sites in Walled Lake, Pontiac, Orchard Lake, and Farmington that harbored slaves and helped them escape into Canada.
Wow, not sure I knew that part, so thank you.
Yeah.
You know, it's such an important milestone in American history, right? It represents resistance, resilience, and the joy that freedom brings, frankly. But as you said, we still have much work to do to ensure that the fight for justice continues. And it may be uncomfortable at times, but we can't get to the outcomes that we're all seeking without first getting a little uncomfortable. So I want to wish Oakland County a happy Juneteenth. Take Robin's advice and educate yourself and think a little bit more intentionally about the ways that we can make sure that justice is spread across our county and our country now and going forward. Thanks,
Yes.
Robin.
Thank you.